So here's a list of things you can do to stay active as you're reading and to find meaning in the text. This is a handout developed by Scholastic. You'll find this on the resources page of this course. I think it's really helpful. I've given this to my students for years. So what do good readers do when they read? The idea is you want to stay active, you want to stay engaged. It's almost as if you're having a conversation with the text. So one of the things you do is you make connections. You notice pieces of the text that relate to other aspects of your lives, or to books you've read, to movies you've seen, to places you've visited. Good readers also visualize. They create pictures in their minds while they read. And extremely important is the idea of asking questions. As you read a text, you're constantly wondering, why is the author presenting this information to us? Something you'll hear me say numerous times during this class is, in good literature, as in a good film, nothing is done by accident. Every statement, every word, particularly with poetry, is placed there deliberately by the author. Okay, let's move to another area, and that's one that is so important: inferring. Good readers draw conclusions based on background knowledge and clues in the text. This is so important. You read between the lines. We do this all the time without realizing it. For example, if a friend tells you that she just got a pet and she loves this pet, the pet purrs all the time, you're going to infer that she has a cat. She hasn't told you that, but you have enough clues from what she said and from what you know about the behavior of animals that you realize this is a cat. You will need to do this with the stories that we read. In a few weeks, I won't tell you the name of the story because I don't want to give it away, but in a few weeks you'll read the story about a character who's really depressed, and she is staring at a lake, and the lake looks restful and peaceful, and the story ends there. And good readers will realize that the author is telling us that this woman commits suicide. Readers who read quickly and are just looking for facts, they miss this because that's not there. They have to read between the lines to realize this. Now let's move to another important skill area, and that's the idea of synthesizing. So good readers combine new information from their reading with existing knowledge in order to form new ideas or interpretations. Ooh, that is so incredibly important. And that is what this is all about, is forming new ideas or interpretations based on evidence in the text and experience or knowledge from your own lives. We synthesize. A really good way to practice these critical reading skills is to annotate as you read. So annotation is basically how you have your conversation with the text. You react to what you read, you draw circles around things, you draw circles around words you don't understand that you need to look up, around the names of important characters. If a character does something surprising, put a couple of exclamation points next to it. Write a reaction to it. Why did this person say this? What's your theory about this? So when you annotate your text, when you write in the margins, it really helps you in two ways. First of all, it helps you when you're studying for a quiz because you will have recorded important facts in the margins. The other thing it helps you do, though, is it helps you reflect on the text, and it helps you find that meaning. What should you do if you've rented your books and you can't write all over the text? Well, that's where you keep a journal. So you write notes in your journal about important characters, their behavior, and then your reactions to what they do. In a sense, you're creating a summary response of every short story you read or chapter in a book. Summaries and responses are things you will do fairly frequently in this class. So if you're doing this as you read, you save yourself a step. One last point about annotation: throw away your highlighters. Seriously, highlighters don't help students read. It's too easy just to highlight an entire paragraph, and when you go back to study, you're trying to figure out, well, what's important about this paragraph? Get rid of the highlighter and just jot down in the margin why that paragraph is important, or jot it down in your notes.